transition from the inquisitorial system, like the public prosecutors become significantly more important because they're the ones, I guess, now completely in charge of running the prosecution. And then I think this sort of helps in two ways. One, it makes the system more efficient because now the judges aren't bogged down necessarily in trying to figure out which cases they should prosecute. They have a separate body and they can delegate power. And the prosecutor, I mean, I think the one of the articles dealing with the obstacles to public prosecution said that like something like 60% of cases could be dismissed even before the trial stage if people just take a more careful look at it. So in that sense, increasing efficiency and saving money and making the system more predictable, public prosecutor plays a very large role because if 60% that just goes away, and this can be dismissed, this one should go to trial, and then that's like, essential to the system. That's what we're trying to do.
If after this course, after this semester, you receive a letter of the World Bank, the World Bank would like to have your advice to observe how works the judicial system in Brazil. Which indicators would you use to observe? The most important, not all the indicators, but
Sure.
for you the main.
I'd say the important indicators, I mean, I guess going back to this idea of efficiency is that we need to make sure that we're upholding not only the ability to have a properly functioning judicial system, but the ability to actually ensure people's human rights, their rights as a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at the cases of how long the case takes and what happens to people during that time, I think is a very important part. And I think this happens on the ground level before it happens on the Supreme Court type of level. We have to ensure the police are acting properly and not abusing citizens. And then when they are in jail, or if they go to jail, if they're being offered fair treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, once you start there, once you started having the citizens actually acting in confidence with the authority, that's going to give the authority the power to actually start, and the citizens will start mandating more that the authority actually operates as it should. And hopefully that would lead to a kind of a chain of actions leading to a more efficient system.
And from the factors, the last question, my question is, Matthew, from the factor you mentioned at the beginning, the most important factors.
Sure.
In your opinion, maybe you can explain more about the first you mentioned.
About judicial independence?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think while our discussion is sort of turning more towards corruption and efficiency right now, independence itself is the overarching theory for all this. Without judicial independence and without an administrative decisions that will make, let's say, the court run more efficiently or be more transparent, if they're still tied down by the strong executive branch of government, then even if you try to throw money into it, it's not really going to make much of a difference. I think when you asked Tony about the World Bank question, that it doesn't necessarily matter how much money, but where the money goes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're still putting money into a system where it's maybe the people in charge are taking some of it and they're just sort of throwing it at problems without really understanding why the process is occurring, that's why the law is so important. That you have to have an independent judicial system that can function on its own without having to worry about other things. So essentially, the main point of the judicial independence is that the justice system focuses on the justice system, nothing else.
Mm-hmm. The last general open question is not for you, it's for the group.
Yeah.
From the readings, which readings were most interesting or more better for prepare this exam for you?
I mean, well, just sort of based on how the
If you have comments.
how the question was framed. Like I studied the police and the public prosecutor. The one article that talked about the public prosecutor, the obstacles, I think was very helpful because it outlined they gave a short 3-page history, and it showed what it was like, then it showed what it was supposed to do, then problems, and and then how to fix them. So I think it was very comprehensive and very easy to read, much in the same way that the articles by Fruling and I don't know how to pronounce his name, Paul Shabibi, yeah, they both gave really interesting insights, and I think the concepts were easy to understand, that once you sort of read them, you're like, oh, this makes sense, and if this didn't happen, I can see how people might have acted. So I'd say those two articles for me.
As far as I was concerned, I think the Foucault article was tremendously useful to Canadian study. This comparative report, I wasn't really sure what it was from the SEHA, I think. I thought it was kind of a very useful kind of overview of a lot of the problems for both sides. But the one I actually found quite interesting, though not necessarily directly directly connected, was the National Center for State Courts. Their critiques kind of started looking at why reforms weren't necessarily being effective. And I think the money issue was something that I really took out of this article in particular, where we started talking throughout the course about how funding, giving more money to the courts was a very necessary point. And they having that minimum standard. And for them, they said, listen, it doesn't matter as long as we're having these problems in the courts, how much money we're throwing at the problem. Because, I mean, like his point was, it's not going to be it's not going to help the system if we're just throwing more money at it. It's actually probably going to impede on the system until we actually have a properly functioning organization. So I thought it was a really interesting point.
So thank you so much. And we will take these 2 minutes to talk about to deliberate. And maybe after these 2 minutes you can return here. Sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate
It was
it.
weird.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.